This video explains how you can use the RCA to Go software to calculate return on investment of a proposed countermeasure or improvement. Return on investment, or ROI, is a way of comparing investment opportunities. Problems cause a loss. Finding the cause of a problem is to some extent worthless if we don't use the knowledge to find a solution or countermeasure to reduce the loss. It may be that we can invest in changing a system to reduce the cost of a problem in several different ways. Return on investment helps us choose which way will give the best financial benefit. A financial benefit comes from reducing the loss by making an improvement, but often there is a cost involved in making the improvement. So the true financial benefit needs to take the cost of making the change into account. This can be represented by an equation. The financial benefit is equal to the reduction in loss minus the cost of making the change. Naturally, we want the financial benefit to be high and the cost to be low. So we want the ratio of financial benefit to cost to be high. This ratio is called return on investment. If the benefit is great and the cost is low, then the investment is much more desirable. So the ratio of financial benefit to cost is a good indicator of which solution is the best to work on. Return on investment is often expressed as a percent. For example, if we can reduce the loss by $10,000 through an investment that costs $5,000, then the return on investment will be 100%. But there is another important consideration. We need to think about the time period that we are considering. Let's say that the example we just looked at was for 1 year of operation. Now consider the return on investment over 2 years of operation, where the $5,000 improvement at the beginning of the first year keeps delivering the annual $10,000 benefit over each of the 2 years. So now the return on investment calculated over 2 years is 300%. But it may be there is an ongoing cost of the improvement. The initial capital cost of the improvement may have been $5,000, but perhaps there is an annual operating and maintenance cost of $2,000 in the second year. If we put this cost in the equation for the second year, the return on investment changes again. So return on investment depends on the time period over which the estimates are made, and it is essential that the same time period is used both for the financial benefit and the full cost of the improvement. This time period is called the life cycle of the improvement. The RCA to Go software calculates return on investment for you. Each impact and the life cycle cost of the impact is entered in step 3. The countermeasures and the life cycle cost to implement is entered in step 8. And the life cycle business benefit is added in step 9. The business case report presents the estimated return on investment. But remember, the accuracy depends on the accuracy of your estimates in steps 3, 8 and 9. And it is essential that the same life cycle is used throughout. Now let's look at how this data is entered. In step 3 of the software, the various impacts of the problem are identified. Each impact may have a life cycle cost. It is important to identify these impacts separately because countermeasures may reduce or mitigate some impacts, but not all of them in the same way. The cause tree is developed in step 8. Countermeasures may be identified and associated with the causes. You can estimate the life cycle cost of implementing the countermeasure. Use this button to highlight the string of whys that will be affected by the countermeasure. You can use the same button to highlight as many cause strings as you wish. In step 9, select a change. You may add countermeasures to the selected cause strings. Drag and drop the A, B and C buttons to indicate which countermeasures are your recommended options. Write a summary of the recommended change in the free format field. Click on the Return on Investment button. This screen shows a summary of the impact and the life cycle loss caused to the stakeholder at the top of the table. The proposed options are shown in order of preference. Enter the predicted life cycle loss after the countermeasure has been implemented. You have now entered all of the data needed to calculate return on investment. Select the business case report to see a printout of the return on investment for the various impacts and the countermeasures that you have developed.